Give a second. There we go. Okay. Today's edition of the Tuesday Wrestling Podcast here on Earnest Podcast Network, or media, whatever you call it. I'm your host, Earnest AJ Christian. After 2 weeks away, gentlemen, we're back. As promised. Mike, Joe, what's up?
What's up? I don't know if it's more trash, your introduction or Bianca Belair's outfit tonight, but I digress.
Dude, what is your problem with Bianca's outfit tonight, man? I don't get it.
Trash.
You got a problem with Black History Month?
No, but I also have a problem with fucking people shoving shit down people's throats.
That's the Jim Cornette podcast you're looking for, buddy.
That's come out tomorrow. Drive through.
Yeah.
He's so fucking off his rocker. But anyway, we'll get to the recap of Takeover tonight. What a show! What a fucking show! This wrapped up about an hour ago. This might be a shorter show today because we're kind of lacking on topics today. I guess.
Doubtful.
I don't know. So, but real quick, what's that?
I doubt this is going to be a short podcast.
You better be a short podcast.
Yeah,
I got a 6:45 wake up call, man. Come on now. So
I'm just telling you, you're thinking about content when my topic is predicting the fucking WrestleMania 36 card. You know, there's like 37 matches on that thing.
But I thought we were doing that next week, though.
No, he said we were doing that tonight.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm about to walk off this podcast. I'm about to just click them out.
Oh my god.
Oh,
She will not listen.
My bad. Okay, well, technical issues aside,
Great job.
one news item I want to get to from this week, really want to attack, and this is mainly you guys, because you guys are the WrestleMania junkies, especially on this podcast. You've gone to the last, 9? 10?
Yes.
Correct.
That's not even including the one that's coming up in 2 months.
10
No, that will be
Tampa.
number 10.
Number 10. WrestleMania 37 will be in Los Angeles at the new stadium with the Rams, home of the Rams and the Chargers. It was just announced this week. Fellas, obviously you're the WrestleMania junkies. You're the ones that travel last decade now. Your thoughts on LA as the next destination for Mania? First one since 2005, WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, I've never been to LA myself.
Really?
Period. So yeah.
As much as you
So
travel?
I'm excited. It's a good excuse to go to LA, so
That's true. Michael, you've been to LA before, right? Come on.
Anaheim.
Well, it's south.
that's not the same thing.
No. It's not the same.
Not quite LA, but it's close
I'm
enough.
excited for it. I'm excited that it's going to be in a new stadium. I told Joe that I felt like they needed to go back to the West Coast sometime soon because
Yes.
the last one was San Francisco, and we'd just eaten up the entire Eastern Seaboard over the last 4 years. So I thought it was time to ship it out towards the West Coast. Makes perfect sense.
If Pro Wrestling Guerrilla could do a show that weekend, that'd be awesome. I'd be there.
The 2021 Battle of Los Angeles.
There we go.
Amen.
I am
WrestleMania 4.
It'll just look like the NXT card from 4 years from now.
Yes, exactly.
I am curious though, because I've been hearing some rumors about this. That the company is considering, or at least thought about the idea of making Mania a 2-day event. If that would be where they'll probably start doing that.
Trash.
Okay. See, first of all, Mania already is a 4-day event.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly becoming 5 days. There's no that's the thing. You
Where do you put day 2?
Right, like as much as the idea to quote unquote split up WrestleMania as an actual show, has come up, and it's only come up because New Japan did it. But theoretically speaking, like this year, you have SmackDown on Friday, you have NXT on Saturday, you have Mania on Sunday, then you have Raw on Monday. That's WrestleMania week. It's already a 4-night thing.
And the Hall of Fame is Thursday.
We haven't even found a Hall of Fame day yet. So it's all of that is
It's
part
fucking
of
overkill. Let's be real.
WrestleMania.
It's overkill.
Well,
It's
WWE
overkill as it is.
I agree.
There's no need for more.
The only reason why New Japan went to 2 nights for Wrestle Kingdom was because they decided to do Double Gold Dash. I guarantee you it probably won't be 2 nights next year.
And even if it was 2 nights, that's still not like I said, WrestleMania weekend is already a 4-day event, if not 5 days. So we don't need to add more days to WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, and here's the other thing when it comes all said and done to it. If you want to get more, quote, roster guys on shows, put a couple of them on TakeOver the night before.
Yeah, exactly.
Put the women's tag title match over there. Put the cruiserweight title match on there instead of on the pre-shows. Put a random, you know what? Honestly, put the Intercontinental title match on there.
Yeah, there's
Who
more they
cares?
can do.
There's
We don't
there's available slots to put things to not have to go to 2 days, because
Right.
the real issue here is if you go 2 days, what's getting moved where? You're going to put Takeover on Thursday night? That's not going to fly. You're not moving
no.
SmackDown. Fox isn't going to let that happen.
Yep.
Same with
You're not
Raw.
moving Raw because USA is not going to let that happen.
I agree.
So where are you going to put it?
Right.
Just leave it alone. I agree. I mean, look, the kickoff show, people complain about being long. I get that. To be honest with you, the kickoff show is for the diehards, honestly.
But the kickoff show, it's like 45 minutes of whatever, and then it's like there's like 4 meaningful matches in there. There's
That's
at least
true.
always the cruiserweight title match.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 2 battle royals, and then maybe a tag title match in there. So I mean, it's not like it's just a throwaway part of the show.
I agree.
At the end of the day, if you're coming for Edge versus Randy Orton, I'll see you at 10 o'clock. Don't bitch about the first 6 hours of show if all you're worried about is the 3 main events.
I mean, I think the only, and I guess I can't speak on this. You guys could, obviously, because you've been to the last 9. There is some sort of a tiredness, though, to the Mania event. Like, by the time you get to, like, I mean, one of the things I noticed watching the last one was by the time you got to the main event, the triple threat match, the women's title, the crowd wasn't into it. Because they've been there, 7 hours at that point? It was like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you're absolutely right about that.
No,
yeah, you're absolutely right about that, but you're not going to make it better by giving me 2 nights of like 5 hours each.
Well, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you have to remember. Okay, the thing that WWE never gets credit for, and I think it's horseshit, and I'm just going to be blatant with it.
Mm-hmm.
They book that show smarter than they book any other show that they book all year. That show has peaks and valleys. They know when those people need breaks. Look at it. Rollins started with Brock Lesnar, a match that was going to have the crowd amped up. There was a couple of matches where it died down. Then you give us the greatest world title win in WrestleMania history, probably, in Kofi winning the title.
Right.
Which was the peak of the show. Then it goes down for a little bit. You have a 1-minute Samoa Joe versus freaking Rey Mysterio match following it. And then you finish with the first ever women's main event. The show is perfectly booked so that the fact that, okay, you have matches that you know the crowd's going to be amped for. Right. And then you have matches where you know the crowd can go get a fucking piss break, some sodas, a beer, come back to it, and then get to the next big match. And they make it where the peaks are the peak and the valleys aren't terrible. Mm-hmm. They're sustainable. But it's not like, okay, well, this is a Raw show where now my valley is Rusev versus Bobby Lashley for the 37th time in a row.
Or basically, if Dolph Ziggler's wrestling, go get your drink.
I wouldn't
agree
with that.
Well, I love Dolph Ziggler.
I wouldn't. I think Dolph Ziggler's great in the ring.
I love Dolph Ziggler. I think he's so underrated, but people just don't like him anymore.
You know what's hard? Going to an NXT Takeover and trying to find
any time to go anywhere.
To the bathroom.
I know.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Like case in point, like tonight's show.
I didn't go to the bathroom at all. I couldn't. I waited to end the fucking show to go to the bathroom. I just couldn't.
Right.
And that's what happened.
Okay, try being at the show.
I know.
Yeah.
But look, I'm not going to compare the two companies. Well, the same company, but I'm not going to compare the two brands because, like, look, WWE and on SmackDown, what they do versus NXT, all that is two different things. Like, WWE is an entertainment thing. NXT, but watching NXT again tonight, it's 3 hours, hit, boom, 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 done. And I am more satisfied in 3 hours getting hit in the face fucking 3 hours and then being done with it than any other. Although I will say Royal Rumble was pretty fucking. I will say it was one of the best, probably the best people I've watched since watching since last summer.
Yeah. Well, speaking of tonight's show, I feel
let's get into it, man.
Segue.
Tonight's show is my topic. It's gonna be tonight's show. Michael, do you want to do the breakdown with us? I mean, just go through the storylines individually.
Cool, let's do it. Show started off first match, North American title. I want you all to bask in his glory. Keith Lee versus Donovan Dijakovic. Dijakovic won this shot by beating Killian Dane and Damian Priest in back-to-back weeks. These two guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I talked about this with Joe on, one of our rambling rants. Joe mentioned it. These guys haven't had the big stage to really steal a show yet. Well, I think they stole it.
They certainly tried.
Amazing. Those guys went 100 miles an hour the entire way. Pretty gnarly. That Keith Lee catching Donovan as he tried to go over the top rope with the spinning tope where he then power bombed him. to Donovan hitting a tope while Keith was sitting in a commentator's chair. Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, these guys beat the shit out of each other too.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 20 seconds. The third longest match on the show. Keith Lee retains via Spirit Bomb.
Yeah, Dodge hurt his back. Tried to end the match, hurt his back in the process, and Keith Lee capitalized on that, wins the match there, and then, dude, I've seen I think 4 other matches in the last couple months, and I mean, this is obviously the best one in my opinion. I mean, that's because of the platform, but it's because, every fucking move. I mean, Keith Lee, my God, every time you think you've seen it all of them, like tonight, it's like, wow. This guy can fucking move like anybody. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, dude. It's really incredible. And, and guess what? Both guys, sportsmanship, all that. It was really, really good match. And, I mean, to kick it off, too, with that, I mean, not that no one, I mean, I'm not saying maybe you guys did care a little more about the Dakota Kai match against Tegan Nox, but I feel bad for them because, I mean, you're not even in the conversation. Like, you're not even touching that match at all.
No, I mean, I thought it was a fantastic match. I really did. I think what's interesting about those guys in particular, and there's a lot of guys in NXT right now who have that size while also still having that ability to do some of the flashier stuff. Yeah, which like, the thing is, like, I forget, someone made a point of it at some point that, like, the reason why, I forget who and I forget where, but someone made a point that, like, one of the reasons why the cruiserweights don't get as over anymore is because, it's not as impressive seeing Lince Dorado do shit on the pre-show when AJ Styles is doing it in the main event also, or so is Seth Rollins, or, whoever. But with guys like Keith Lee and Donovan Novak
Djokovic?
Yes, there you go. The reason why it's still impressive from them is because they're fucking huge. They shouldn't be able to do this stuff. And they do it, like, with all of the grace of Rey Mysterio. So, I mean, you can't not be impressed as far as I'm concerned.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
actually.
no, for sure.
That's actually a good point. That's actually a really good point with the cruiserweights.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's absolutely, it's incredible watching these guys do what they do. And there's a reason why we all went in kind of thinking that match could steal the show.
Right.
And it's certainly, any other show, and it would have stolen the show. I think it definitely is at least a fantastic match.
Although I will say the Leo Rush match against Angel Garza on Wednesday was pretty fucking great, though. But again, we've seen it so many times. So.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The impact is not the same with Keith Lee and Djokovic doing it, or some other guys who are a little bigger than they are. I totally agree with you, man. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
A match that has been brewing since November in War Games, when best friend turned on best friend. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox in a street fight. 13 minutes, 24 seconds. Me and Joe talked about this on the Name Subject to Change podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That this match needed to be 10 to 15 minutes of them beating the absolute piss out of each other.
That's exactly what we got.
And
yeah.
that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a solid match.
Those two ladies went out there and hit every spot that they needed to hit to make it work. And then the finish happened, and they botched that table spot. And I'm pretty sure Tegan might have a concussion because that throw was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's that new woman?
Martina something?
No, it's like...
What her name is?
It's like Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel?
Yeah, I think that's what they said it was.
Well, she fucked up with the table spot. I mean, I don't want to laugh about it, really, be honestly, because I feel bad for Tegan. But, considering that it was following Keith Lee and Djokovic, I thought it was pretty good, considering the spot it was in.
Well, honestly, that's one of the reasons why they had to have the match that they had. Like, those two, they're both fantastic wrestlers, but on this stage, I think you just put them in the ring against each other and have a regular one-on-one match, and it doesn't
transition.
Nope. It gotta stand out somehow, and Street Fight does that, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And
if you put their match from a Wednesday night takeover or the Wednesday night NXT show from like 3 weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
that match falls flat.
Yes.
After Keith Lee versus Donovan Djokovic.
Yes.
The fact that they put this stipulation in, and honestly, These two girls went out there and, again, beat the absolute shit out of each other, which, for the storyline that's being built here, makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I always personally get a little excited when there's a women's match that has nothing to do with the title or anything. Like, I feel like they don't get enough storylines outside of just chasing the gold, so I appreciated
right.
this.
I also, and I spoke about this also, too, last week on the other pod, like, this storyline feels kind of disappointing a little bit. Like, I know they met one time since the War Games incident, but, considering that there's so much space now to add more to a storyline, they haven't really done much with it other than that one match they had in January.
I completely disagree.
Okay,
yeah, hard disagree.
Okay, then give it to me.
Well, I mean, the whole thing ever since Dakota Kai turned on Tegan, it hasn't only been a conflict with her and Tegan. I mean, we've had matches with her and Mia Yim. We've had matches with her and Candice.
Rhea.
Her and even Rhea. Yeah, basically she turned on that whole team. And honestly, like, the way they went down tonight, they're positioning Dakota Kai to be one of the top heels in that women's division, which is severely lacking in heels at the moment. Especially if Shane is going over to
exactly.
Raw.
Shayna's gone, yeah.
Yeah, you're lacking. So I mean, honestly, like, I know that Raquel, whatever her name is, kind of messed up.
Guns Rodriguez, whatever her name is. We'll figure it out one day.
But I know she messed up the finish, but setting up a new heel unit within the women that's led by Dakota Kai is a fantastic idea, and that's kind of where they've been going. And the thing is, at the end of the day, this feud isn't even over. Because, the good guy wins when the feud is over. And obviously Tegan Nox not getting the win here, even though she really went all for it and really tried. And mind you, this has only been going on since November. So we're only talking about it's been like 2 months. I mean, it's a slow build and needs a little bit of room to grow, but I think it's got a lot of potential still.
Dakota turning on Team Ripley, you knew that it made sense that, okay, so you keep Tegan off of TV for a month to sell the damage of her turn. Because it wasn't just that Dakota kicked her face off. She then smashed her knee, smashed her head, smashed everything else inside the bay or whatever you want to call it, the shark tank, whatever you want to call it. So you take her off TV basically for the entire month of December. So this feud's really only been going on for a month and a half. And what happens?
Right.
Dakota comes out. She costs Tegan in the Battle Royal. They have a singles match where Tegan uses the knee brace and the shiniest wizard. And then you have a match here. But that also doesn't include the backstage segments and them having interviews and stuff on social media that they've been going back and forth. The thing is,
I almost feel like the complaint about this is almost that you've been conditioned by Raw and SmackDown, which is they haven't wrestled every single week for the last 7 weeks, so it's not a good feud.
Oh no, I don't want that. I don't want repeat matches. I hate that shit.
Right.
One of my problems with Raw and SmackDown is they do that too much. They'll tweak a match, but it have the same dynamic pretty much. Like, I'm tired of seeing Corbin and fucking Roman Reigns every week.
Right, exactly. But that's what works about this. We haven't seen Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai every single week.
But that's probably my bad anyway, because I haven't seen enough of the rivalry in between November and now.
Yeah, I mean, that's like there's been beats. It hasn't necessarily been like lighting the world on fire, but
it also hasn't just been like Joe said. It just hasn't been Tegan versus Dakota. It's been Team Ripley versus Dakota, with everybody trying to get a hand on her because of what happened, from her jumping Mia to her jumping Tegan to her not even going in the cage and leaving them on a 4-on-2 disadvantage.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of interweaving in this story. Yes, the main thing at the end of it is Tegan versus Dakota, but there's other pieces that now can be shifted. So now Dakota can go after Candice while Tegan's trying to get revenge on fucking the female version of
Raquel,
Diesel. Throwing her through a table.
Lady Wardlow.
Yeah,
Lady Wardlow. Exactly. Lady Wardlow. I like that.
I mean, there's more in this. So anyone that thinks that this thing has taken too long to develop, please go back to watching Monday Night Raw and stop trying to ruin good things.
Right. I mean, like old school wrestling, these things used to take like 6 months to develop before there was even one match.
Yeah, how many times did Flair duck Dusty?
Right.
Oh God.
Exactly. He ducked him 7,304 times a month before they had a match.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Third match of the night, Finn Balor puts his 8-1 NXT Takeover record on the line against the heart and soul of NXT, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. This match, 27 minutes, 22 seconds, second longest match on the show. These two guys really went for it. And I said this to Joe. I said, this match, and in all honesty, this match could have either been a match of the year candidate, or these guys could have a good match that's going to get teared apart by the internet because the internet expects the world from the two of them. I'm leaning more towards the former. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards we got a match that, no, this isn't, they had a 6-man ladder match for the North American title at TakeOver New Orleans 3 years ago. That was probably the best WWE match that year. It's not like that level, but it's still something that I would suggest that people go out of their way to see. If you're asking me give me a list of TakeOver matches from 2020, that's probably going to be on my list. Those two guys went for it. They left everything out there. I also told Joe, I'm really glad that they're not using the demon with heel Finn Balor because I don't think it'll ever work.
I agree.
Not with heel, yeah.
Johnny with the comic book homage in his gimmick. Thank you.
Yes.
Gotta love the Carnage gear. Balor with that, I don't know what Nigel McGuinness is calling it, John Woo? Is that what he's calling it, the John Woo dropkick?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can barely understand Nigel on that one, but the running dropkick on the announce tables to the barrier to set up to coup de grace.
Oh, that was sick.
1916. Yeah, that was a sick sequence.
One of many.
To end the match, for sure. I enjoyed it.
Wow. Dead silent. What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. I think somebody thought somebody said something. I was like, all right, I'm giving up the floor.
No, I know. I said one of many. That's all. One of many spots.
Oh yeah. Balor over Gargano. I think this is obviously. I felt like this was the right decision.
Yes.
Especially the way that they're building Balor.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's what's next for the both of them. I definitely think they go their own separate ways from where we're at here.
Oh yeah.
Finn may be into that title picture. Johnny with something that we're going to probably get to here in a little bit, so we'll just leave Johnny over here to the side and we'll get back to him.
Stay still, Johnny. We'll get back to you, Johnny. We'll get back to you in a second. Just hold tight.
What's the real play here for Balor?
Title shot.
Is it the title, or is that Velveteen Dream?
No, I think it's title shot. I said on my predictions that he'll win and he'll be the guy that's shiny and new for the title shot at TakeOver in Tampa.
But why are you going to have heel versus heel in a title match at TakeOver?
Well, my prediction was actually the Fatal 4-Way. That was the way to get out of that whole thing.
Well, you're not getting. Who's the fourth person?
Well, my initial prediction was going to be Gargano, Ciampa, Cole, and Balor 4-way.
See you, bye.
No, it makes sense as a 4-way. I'm not going to lie.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why look, since that happened, I don't write for fucking NXT. I can't tell you that. But
right.
But part of the reason was because to avoid heel number one, to avoid Cole getting buried if he loses 1-1 somebody.
I don't think Adam Cole can get buried.
No, right. The result.
Guys held the title for 245 days.
And what played out tonight with the main event, obviously, played in my theory. Cause I knew there'd be a lot of Gaga involved. We'll talk about it in a second with that, which will force this to happen. So,
I don't think you're getting a fatal 4-way at Tampa.
Probably not.
I'm okay. I don't think it's going to happen, but I understand where you're coming from and why it's sort of set up. I do actually agree with you.
I see it.
It would be a very natural place to go.
The only way you're getting a fatal 4-way is if there's a different fourth person, because the two of them are out and Dream is in.
Well, Dream be the one. Well, and you're right. You could bring up Dream, and now I'm thinking about it, because remember I started watching NXT right when he got hurt. So now I'm looking at the storyline with him and Roderick and what happened prior to him getting hurt and the way how they wrote it up. Yeah, it makes sense. He'll be probably the wild card, the whole thing. So maybe you take out one of those guys, a Gargano, out of that picture and put in.
You're taking both of them out because those two guys are getting their WrestleMania match against each other.
Well, yeah, of course, absolutely.
I don't know. I honestly
High
look,
pitch Joe. There you go.
as much as Dream getting a title shot would totally work right now and everything, I could also see a case to be made for holding on to Dream until like the summer.
I mean,
I don't.
We're gonna get Dream.
I don't.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I think you strike while it's hot.
Well,
I think Dream was going to win the title 6 months ago if he didn't get hurt.
Is it possible we get another Roderick Strong Dream match? I mean, I know we have one on Wednesday coming up on NXT this week.
No.
But it's possible we can get another one at TakeOver in April.
No, because at the end of the day,
It's
if
a
you're going to
long
have another
while.
match you're giving away on NXT television,
Right.
then you're taking away a spot on the show from someone who could be involved in something.
Okay.
Are you telling me that I'm getting another Roderick Strong and Velveteen Dream match over the feud ender of Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai? No, I'm taking Nox and Kai in that aspect.
Fantasy NXT. I like it.
I mean, I'm telling you, if you're telling me that my choices are the end of the feud of Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai or a Velveteen Dream match against Roderick Strong, that means absolutely nothing because he's already beaten Roderick once, then no, I'm definitely picking the ladies match because I'd rather have 2 or 3 female matches on that show.
Okay, I'm
to
with
get the
you.
rest of that.
I actually agree with you 100% on that, Mike. But I would say this to add to what you were saying. I would do Nox and Kai in a steel cage at TakeOver.
I'd be down with that.
The run match. That would be a run match, wouldn't it? That would be a run match now at that point.
Yes, I'm not. Again, I would be all for that. There'd be a way to end it, and the two of them could go their own separate ways. Dakota could then transition to Rhea or Charlotte's next opponent, whoever wins the title match at Mania, and then Tegan can go on to, whoever the hell she wants to transition to, whether it be Chelsea Green or Deonna Purrazzo or somebody like that, and the two of them can then crescendo back into a title match later on down the road, which I think everyone would be excited about. But what I'm getting at is, at this point, the thing I think that makes the most sense is you keep Finn there to keep getting the best out of other guys. If you're going to put Gargano and Ciampa back together, which when we get to the main event is probably the way we're going to go, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are in the tag team division. What's the perfect thing for Finn Balor to go do right now? Bask in his glory.
So you're saying he could go for the North American Championship?
Put him against Keith Lee. It gets both of them
That's
into
actually
a
not a
high-profile
bad idea.
package. You put Keith Lee against a guy who's been a main roster star, the first ever Universal Champion. We talked about on this show. We're going to find out if Keith Lee can do it. Here's your chance, buddy. Go have a great feud with Finn Balor. Whether you win the title, whether you keep the title, whether you lose the title is irrelevant. Whether Finn loses to Keith Lee and that's his only loss in NXT, it is whatever it is. It's the bigger picture. We're going to find out if Keith Lee can be a main roster, a Raw, SmackDown, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins star, and how does he do it with the guys that are there? It's not in a feud with Damian Priest. It's not in a feud with Killian Dane. And honestly, it's not even in a feud with Donovan Dijakovic, even though the two of them had a great match. You got to get him in there with Adam Cole. You got to get him in there with Finn Balor. You got to get him in there with Tommaso Ciampa. You got to get him in there with Johnny Gargano.
That's how you find out who Keith Lee's there. I have to agree with you 100% on that one. Absolutely correct. Whether they go that direction is another story. We'll see. But I do think that's something to be considered.
Yeah, but you can also get him in there with Dream. And honestly, I think I'd almost rather see that.
You'd rather see two
Keith
faces
Lee?
fight each other for the North American title?
Wait, Keith Lee and Dream or Keith?
Yeah. No. I would love to see Keith Lee and Dream fight at Mania weekend.
I'm out.
I'm on that one too. I
Wow.
disagree there. Because Dream right now he's a babyface, obviously, right?
If I'm striking with as much as the fan base loves the Velveteen Dream, I'm not putting him in any title match unless it's the NXT title. I'm not putting him back.
Okay.
Okay, let's move forward to the other matches tonight because I think what we're going to say is going to convolute everything in general because obviously we have a new heel, and we're going to get to the main event.
But here's my thing though. I'm gonna make one argument for this. Okay, if you're looking at audience that's been watching NXT, new audience since they've come on USA Network, Dream is still a pretty unknown entity for a lot of that crowd. It's the same argument that AEW gets where it's like, okay, you guys positioned Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and all these people as main eventers without actually giving anyone who doesn't already know who the hell they are any reason to think that they're main eventers. I feel like Dream is in the same situation over on NXT. Like, you know, if you've been a long-term fan of NXT, if you've watched it on the network and stuff, yeah, you totally know who Dream is. But if you've only been watching since it came on USA in September, Dream's been MIA. Dream's been out injured.
He's since summertime, right?
Right, exactly. Well, I think he appeared maybe on like one episode on the USA Network and then was like taken out injured. Okay. So, I mean, like at the end of the day, he's an unproven entity to a lot of the newer crowd for that show. I just sort of think that he needs a little bit more building, which is what the North American title is actually there for. Before you get to the world title scene,
if you want him to build, then you put him against Finn and you give somebody else.
Agreed. Yes, I was just going to say that. Put him against Finn. That's Finn's job.
I'm okay with that. I think you need to build him more. I think there's a whole audience there that has no idea who the hell he is.
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't waste Dream in the North American title. He had it, he lost it, move on from it.
I also wonder why they moved. That's why they made what happened in the main event happen to make that space for Dream to shine.
I'll get there. Let's
get there. Because a lot more shit really on this.
But before we get there, second shortest match of the night. Rhea Ripley retains the NXT Women's Champion over Bianca Belair. Post-match, Charlotte Flair attacks Rhea, makes it official. WrestleMania 36, the NXT Women's title will be defended. Rhea Ripley against Charlotte Flair.
Love the finish.
I don't like Bianca Belair's attire here. I hate the fucking Macho Man cape.
Oh, yeah, right there. Black History Month right there. Uh-huh.
I hated the Cleopatra, throat guard that she was wearing. Why?
You don't even go here. I get it, man. It wasn't typical what she does. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was like, oh my god. I saw Black History. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's move forward.
I watched her walk out, and the first thing came out of her mouth is, what in the Sam hell is she wearing?
She looked like Beyonce, actually, a little bit.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
You're not a Beyonce fan, aren't you?
I don't think y'all know what Beyonce looks like. Go Google.
I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying when Beyonce goes those shoots like wacky ass fashion stuff, that's what it came off of for me anyway.
Yeah. It came off to me like she had a lot of extra thread at her house, made her own gear, and then decided to pull up her curtains, cut them, and make it a cape, and put the extra Black History Month in the making on the back.
All I saw was an old Randy Savage. I was happy about that
because that's what her gear said. Black History Month in the making. Last time I checked, February's always been Black History Month, so I don't know what it's making.
No, I think it was Black History in the making. I think the implication was that she was going to make.
Then don't put the month in there.
I didn't see the word month.
Was a month in there?
Yeah, I did.
Let's
if month isn't in there, then I take back part of my argument. But I could have swore I saw Black History Month in the making. That's why I was really confused.
I thought it just said Black History in the making. To be fair,
okay, but then I'm not as angry as.
I'll say this either way, though. I thought it was a great match. I
need sound drops in this fucking podcast, dude. I want to keep putting, you don't even go here, over and over. Fuck. Oh my God. Damn it.
I thought it was a great match, though. And probably the best, absolutely. The best Bianca's looked in a singles match, hands down. You know what's funny? Remember when she had the one-on-one shot at Shayna for the title, about a year ago at this point?
Yeah, and Sam Roberts said she didn't deserve that match.
Fuck Sam Roberts.
Yeah, and certainly that match itself was good, but it wasn't great.
Okay, hold on. You say fuck Sam Roberts? Sam Roberts actually got that one right because she probably didn't deserve to be in the title match that night because she definitely didn't.
No. I just want to say Sam. I didn't see it. It was a year ago. I just want to say.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But she's there now.
No, but Sam Roberts, a year ago, she was very still green in the ring.
Yeah.
And Sam was actually probably right in that aspect that, you know what, she probably wasn't the right person to fight Shayna on that night.
But I feel like this was her comeuppance. Tonight, she looked fantastic.
Yeah, she came full circle. She took that as motivation.
This is a full circle moment for her, yeah.
Absolutely. She took Sam's words, in her words, his hate, and transitioned to busting her ass in the gym, getting better in the ring, and this is a full circle moment. She went from having a meh women's title match against Shayna Baszler to a good match against Rhea Ripley.
I'd say great, honestly.
Yeah, who's going to be, I don't know, in a main match on WrestleMania for the NXT Women's title.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a full circle moment for Bianca. Yeah, you didn't win the title, but hey, you got something to put your cap on. Also, before we transition to the next match, I want to talk about this real quick. This may be the first show in a long time that the women's matches got the 2 shortest amount of time. It's almost like refreshing to see them like put a second women's match on there, but it's also refreshing to know like, hey, you guys have killed it the last couple of shows. Let's let everybody get a little bit of the length and the main events.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to see the knowledge.
In other words, great pacing.
Yes, I agree with that. Both women, but honestly, like both those matches went exactly as long as they needed to.
Correct. If either of them went another 5 minutes, I would have been like, why?
And truthfully, I gotta say this too. Truthfully, I think that Bianca and Rhea did a great job in a match where the finish was kind of very easily assumed.
Yes.
Like there was almost no chance of Bianca winning in any capacity. And the fact that there were even some moments where you thought she might actually pull it off somehow, like that. Kudos to the chef on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's not easy to do.
No, not at all. The co-main event of the evening for the NXT Tag Team Championships, 16 minutes, 58 seconds. The second peg of the Undisputed Era has fallen. The Bros awaits. Matt Riddle, Pete Dunne. How much fish could Bobby Fried Fish? Bobby Fish could fry fish.
As corny that was, as corny that is, it's so cool though. As corny as it was 2 weeks ago here on NXT, it's still fucking funny as hell.
Hold on, it's corny, but it's Matt Riddle. It is Matt Riddle. Like that is what Matt Riddle is. He is the cornball, goofy, like whatever, bro. Dude, that's Matt Riddle.
Yeah, love him. Love Matt Riddle, dude. And I'm so glad. This is the guy who got lost in the shuffle the last couple months because of everything was happening. Put him with Pete Dunne, and now they're tag champs, man. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm more excited that like they're actually giving Pete Dunne like serviceable things to do in the North American picture. You know, last time I checked, he's like the longest reigning champion in WWE history in the modern era. Yeah, he only held the North America. He only held like the UK title for like 735 days.
Are you serious?
It was something ridiculous like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
he held it for over 635 days. Like shit, you not.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Like he legitimately held that thing for fucking ever.
Yeah, he held it like his name was Moolah. He was just like, I ain't letting go of this.
I ain't letting go.
Solid match. I mean,
this match was great. These guys, both teams really went out there and
nice spots.
Beat the part of each other.
Oh yeah,
685 days.
Wow.
Pete Dunne, United Kingdom champion.
My biggest takeaway from this match is I'm excited to see maybe the tag division get rebuilt.
Yes,
it's pretty dead right now.
Okay, so now that you have a team with the Broserweights in contention, who's next in line?
I have no idea, and I think that's part of the problem.
Right.
Well, I mean, obviously you're going to give Fish and O'Reilly their rematch.
Yeah, but honestly, I would love if by Takeover in Tampa, if we either had a new team in there, or hell, give me a 4-way ladders match. Put Undisputed Era, and then give me 2 new teams. Give me some people that need some stuff to do.
You ain't getting new teams, but you'll probably get the Forgotten Sons,
which is fine.
It's fine.
And then you may get like a Killian Dane / somebody
Priest,
new, or maybe like a new arrival, or maybe like a Eric Young goes back to NXT and you get like a Sanity reboot.
Yeah, maybe.
Another team that I've seen kind of floating around and working NXT house shows is like Mike Kanellis and Tony Nese.
I'd be down with that. That could be
that'd be fun,
actually. Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah. Honestly, I'm with you because I feel like there have been a lot of like, oh, we need to focus on the North American title with Keith Lee. We need to focus on the women's division. I feel like the tag team division, which was a strong suit in NXT for a long time, has definitely taken a step back in the last.
That's
6 months.
That's where AEW right now is dominating is tag teams. And
honestly, you know who I would have fight the Bruiserweights at Takeover?
Who?
The Grizzled Young Vets.
I'd be down with that.
I'd be on that too. Yeah.
I'd give them, or I'd give them Imperium, or even Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster.
So you're saying plucking from the UK, the NXT UK?
Well, no, because here's the thing: you're not necessarily bringing a team over that you think is going to beat them. But give me a 4-way ladder match of the Undisputed Era, the Broserweights, the Grizzled Young Vets, and Imperium.
But see, I will say this: that still doesn't address the overall problem of the tag division lacking.
No, but
like
the thing
you still
is
need to build.
That gives you a solution for 2 months to build it over the summer, because your next big show after that is guaranteed is SummerSlam, and that's whenever you have a chunk of time. You have April through August to build 4 or 5 viable teams. But the thing is we're February 15th. We've got like 63 days until WrestleMania.
Yeah,
you got to figure it out real quick.
You could take like Mike Bennett and Tony Nese and turn them into a viable team in the next like 2 months.
Sure, I mean, or you could bring back Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and those guys could.
Yeah. Also, I don't know where the hell they've been.
Well, when Oney went rogue, and then.
Yeah, but he's sticking around now.
Yeah, he signed that extension. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Main event for the NXT Championship. Longest match of the night. 33 minutes, 23 seconds. Didn't really feel like it was that long. And that's a good thing, because this match definitely delivered. For the title, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, the guy who never lost the title versus the guy who beat the guy who never lost the title's best friend to win the title. Sounds like a really bad Edge, Christian, Alberto Del Rio feud that we had from like 2010. Whatever. Adam Cole retains over Tommaso Ciampa. Finish sees Johnny Wrestling blast Tommaso Ciampa right in the face with the title belt as the referee is knocked unconscious.
Heel turn.
By the way, called it on a chat or either on the other podcast with Joe. I told him, I said, something's going to happen with Johnny in the title belt. He's either going to take it from Ciampa or he's going to blast him in the face with it.
I definitely said Gaga. One thing was certain. That's how it's not changing hands tonight. That was certain.
I went flat out and said Gargano was going to be the reason why.
Do we really think that's a heel turn?
I mean,
okay, by
tweeners.
1990s references, yes, it's heel turn. By 2012 or 2020 references,
Not really.
What I think it is I think it's a guy who's pissed off that he got passed for an opportunity by a guy who can't stay healthy, and he's fucking sick and tired of this guy getting the fucking limelight when Johnny's been the heart and soul of NXT while that guy's been hurt.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of NXT guys are just so in that quote unquote gray area. And I feel like that's where this fits in. I don't feel like Johnny turned heel tonight. I feel like he's fed up with taking a backseat to people who are either healthy, who are either hurt or are new to the thing and haven't put their war of attrition through like he has.
By the way,
exactly.
He's worn that flag.
By the way, this is my first time watching Gargano in real time wrestle. I spent all weekend watching all those old matches from the last year or two. Motherfucker, he's amazing. Oh my god!
No, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I watched.
He's been fantastic for a long time.
I was trying to finish the trilogy of Adam Cole from last year. Oh my god, jeez, the kid's amazing.
Yeah.
Go back. Did you watch the Takeover, the New Orleans street fight with him and Ciampa?
No.
Go do yourself a favor. Watch that one.
Is that 2016? 2017? What year is that?
You got to watch those Ciampa matches before they have their next one, which will be in Tampa in some capacity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they have a unsanctioned match at Takeover New Orleans.
That was 2016, right?
No, it was like 2018.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More recent than that. Okay.
Yeah, they feuded in 18. Then they crescendoed, and Ciampa blew his knee out.
Right, I remember that part. I remember
at the end of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, and then they fought. He cost Gargano a shot at Andrade when Andrade was the NXT champion. Then it was Gargano's career versus Ciampa. He wins the unsanctioned match at New Orleans. Then they have a street fight, and then Ciampa wins the title. And then they have a last man standing match for the title.
Is this funny? Because all weekend I'm saying this is like a fucking pure baby face, and then literally 24 hours later he does what he does on the show.
Okay. This Johnny Gargano, this heel, and I'm using heel in quotes. You can't
quote right tweener.
I'm gonna read it. This is Evolve Johnny Gargano. When he won the Evolve title as a face, and the crowd started to slowly turn on him, and he finally just was like, I'm going to still act like I'm a face, even though I'm going to take every advantage I can to win because you need me to win because I'm your savior.
Right.
This is that Johnny Gargano all over again. And if that's the case, I'm going to absolutely enjoy it. Because the thing is, Johnny can go in the ring, and Johnny's a good heel when he wants to be a dick. Nope, he's easy to be the white meat babyface because he has the look. He wears the comic book
Marvels,
gimmicks. You know, he looks like he can play that role very, very easily. The thing is, though, nobody in their right mind is booing Tommaso Ciampa right now.
No.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as you can't use the Demon for Finn Balor because no one's booing him, or no one. Yeah, everyone's going to cheer the Demon.
Right.
No one's booing the Demon character. They're not doing it. So no one's going to boo Tommaso Ciampa. So at the end of the day, what do you have to do to make that feud even more deadly? Turn the guy who's been the flag bearer of NXT for the last 3 years and finally get him to a point where he's like, I'm sick and tired of everybody else being gifted all of this, and I'm the one that's got to keep sitting here and put everybody over, and I just keep going to the back of the line every time.
I just love this. The storytelling from tonight was amazing. The storytelling was incredible. Oh my gosh. I mean, just, wow.
No, Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah.
All right.
Great show.
Adam Cole at least holds title for at least another. As I said, he'll hold title at least till Mania weekend, and then after that, it's up in the air.
Well, I mean, they're not going to have him lose the title on a random NXT Wednesday night show. So yeah, that's a bold take.
No, I'm saying I'm saying this is no. People predicting Ciampa. I'm like, to win a title.
I mean,
like,
honestly,
no.
Ciampa's been the only one that I've thought had a shot against him in the last 6 months.
I thought he'd win the belt tonight up until
Dream returned.
Yeah.
Me and you had that conversation. Me and you both were like, we thought that it was lock, stock, and barrel Ciampa, and then maybe Gargano would come out after and do something leading to Gargano versus Ciampa at TakeOver.
Right.
But then Dream came back, and we were like, what hell?
Hey, are you guys shocked that Dream wasn't involved tonight in the pay-per-view? Not so much in the match.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Okay, just fuck around a little bit, I'm saying.
Nope, I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, what would he have done?
Annoy Roderick Strong? I don't know, just, you know.
Yeah, right.
but all Roderick did was get involved in the main event, and you already had Gargano's turn coming in it.
Right.
You're going to overshadow Velveteen Dream by having the Undisputed Era get run off by him, then Gargano turning. So everyone's going to be like, well, what happened to the Undisputed Era? Oh, who gives a shit? Johnny Gargano just blasted Tommaso Ciampa in the face with the title.
Right.
Oh, no.
If you're going to use Dream in this situation, especially to a, quote, new audience, you might as well just let him be fresh. Wednesday night, Roderick Strong, he's going to have a good match because Roddy has great matches all the damn time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want him to get over with the new audience. Who's the perfect guy to put him back with his first match? Roderick Strong.
So did we see?
Oh, yeah.
So if we see UE on Wednesday, did we see Kyle O'Reilly with the air guitar and no belt?
I think he did it the last time they lost the titles.
Okay. I mean, he might have, but he might be feeling sad now. So,
or he might just borrow the NXT title.
There you go.
I mean, they're all one big faction. Can't they defend that Freebird rule too?
And I don't think that's how that works.
No? All right.
To me, A+ show. This thing, A+. Show.
Yeah, I would say
hands
that
down.
go watch it.
I haven't watched it. You please watch it. I mean, wow.
Yeah. All right. So Joe, I guess we're gonna transition to your topic, and we'll close with mine.
All right, sure.
Since we talked about tag teams.
Yes, and my topic's an easy one, and apparently there won't be many answers from NXT in this one. So I know you guys are, and I don't know if anyone else listening is, but we're about to find out. We're all pretty big fans of the 90s. Maybe it was on in the 80s. I'm not even sure, but it was definitely
80s,
on.
Like 88, 89, it was on.
Yeah, that's what I was
Super
thinking.
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, the game show known as Supermarket Sweep, which for the uninitiated would involve two teams, usually of either two older white women who clearly have not gotten laid in the last decade.
They're always white, right?
And one was always named Karen.
Always right, always Karen.
Yes. Or there were like two young guys who like clearly were here because their wives pushed them to be here. It was weird. But they would always be on the show, and the object of the show would be to make as much money as you could by going through the supermarket at the end, and you had a very limited amount of time, and you would try to rack up as much money as you could. You'd run around, you'd want to get all the really good merchandise, yada yada yada. So
don't waste time getting the coffee.
Don't get the coffee. The coffee's a waste. The coffee's a total like just fucking suck pit.
That's right.
Like anyway.
Don't die on us.
So my question,
Yeah.
my question for you guys are the brain trust of Take 3 Wrestling Podcast is, of all the tag teams currently actively in wrestling today, which team do you think would do the best on Supermarket Sweep, and why?
I have two answers.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, okay, one of them's an older tag team. The other one is more of a comical answer. So I'm going to go with my older team first. Then I'll let you guys answer, but I'll give you my comical one. First up, the Rock and Roll Express, because they look like Karen.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing. Well, that's
a great answer
right there.
That's a great answer.
I mean,
I can't top that.
They do. They look like every.
Wait, Mike, are you sure that's not the comical answer? This is the comical answer, right?
Well, I mean, it turned into comical after I started.
It's pretty fucking. I mean, if that's not comical, I can't imagine what the comical answer is on the back end. Just saying.
I mean, the back end comical one was Otis and Tucker because it takes away.
Yeah, but Rock and Roll is the bigger shocker. I can see Otis and Tucky, get involved in that. That's not even.
It's honestly like I started thinking about it like as Joe was proposing the question. I'm like, wow. I'm like Otis and Tucky. I mean, those guys are like big fat guys. They're gonna carry around some stuff. They're gonna load up the shopping carts. You probably see Otis dance a little bit. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid man. And then I'm like, oh my God, the Rock and Roll Express, because Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson both look like fucking Karen. With like the 1989 to 1993 long perm female white blonde hair.
I can see them in like the really ugly like pastel sweaters that like every woman had to wear on that show.
Yes. When you're looking at them, and the host David Rubrick's even like, who picked out those shirts? And like, she goes, she did. Oh, all right. What do you do? Because he's like, I want to say something so bad right now.
I can't top that one.
But I can't.
No way I can top that one. And it's funny, and it's funny when you said that too. Because I remember, weren't they on? Didn't they show up on AEW a couple weeks ago? Early on.
Yeah, they're right. All those like tributes to like the.
I thought they were
like,
chicks
whatever.
for a second. For a quick second,
they were the NWA Tag Team Champions until like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Correct.
Unbelievable. My team was. Well, I can't top this shit though. My team.
No one's gonna top it.
No,
it's
that's
great.
Rock and Roll Express. But dude, no one's. I mean, fuck. No one's
the winner.
That shit, dude.
Winner.
I had the New Day. The New Day would be mine.
Ooh, the New Day would be interesting. Because which two would you pick? Who sits out?
Yeah, it's got to be two.
I would probably. Well, Big E has to be number one in there. Probably Big E and Xavier.
Well, yeah, I would put Xavier because of his Achilles.
Well, fuck. But I mean, the thing is the pancakes with Kofi. I don't know. Damn it.
See, the thing that you're not giving Kofi credit for is that he's really good at not touching the ground.
That's
so
true.
maybe he'd be able to get stuff off the top shelves that are really, really high.
That's true. That's a good
by
point.
Jumping on there, it's one of those. It's strategical.
Oh my God!
What about Santana Ortiz? They get to pull that off?
Okay. So they were my first thought as an answer for this, but ultimately I've decided against it because look, I've lived in the Bronx. I've known Latino men in the Bronx. Their moms would probably be really good on that show, but I don't think they would do all that well.
Nah, I'm with you.
I don't either.
It's a great topic.
So my answer, the answer that I've ended up with after ruling out Santana and Ortiz, because I came close to going with them.
I swear to God, if you say Lucha Bros, I'm going to punch you in the throat.
No, it's the Street Profits. Because first of all, you can't tell me that Angelo Dawkins hasn't watched Supermarket Sweep.
Oh, he's
Like,
watched
you can't tell me
Absolute group on
that
it.
man doesn't like just chill out at home sometimes and just put on the sweep.
That guy is a
He
game.
calls
That
it-
guy
he
is a
calls it
game
the
show
sweep.
network obsessed kid. Guaranteed.
Yes. Yes.
We want the smoke.
That's
We
it. And I
want
feel like the smoke is worth extra points. Like kind of like
Exactly.
the coffee.
Yes.
You know what? Hey, for this, now obviously these two guys aren't involved anymore. I would combine a team of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T also on the show.
Just so they can fight. Just so they can fight.
Yeah.
Clean up, all asshole.
Oh my god.
Another team like that I was thinking about whenever Joe proposed this topic, because I was just like, does it have to be like male, female, et cetera, et cetera? There's like another team that I think could be like sneaky good at this, especially because they're a little bit crazy. Is Naomi and Uso.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Because Naomi's got that, like, we got a list, John. We got to get.
I can see that. That's how you said. I can see that.
We got a list. We got to get all this shit on the list.
Not for nothing, but like of all of the teams that like I think these are all really good answers, but of all the teams that I'd actually like to see actually on the show, like if they were to do a WWE version of this, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
I was just
feel
gonna
like
say
would
that.
just be
I was
very
gonna say that.
entertaining.
Yes.
I was going to say that actually.
Or paying homage to them in the mixed match challenge. Give me Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss.
There you go.
Can you imagine Kenny Omega and Hangman Page doing this shit too? Kenny Omega's like doing little gestures with go to aisle right there, and then like his Hangman with fucking beer,
Page would be drinking.
drinking
Yeah.
the entire time.
Cowboy shit. He's just drinking a beer, grabbing hams.
And you have
Oh my
Kenny doing
God.
his little fucking gestures.
I want to know how many of the fucking turkeys Braun Strowman can carry at once.
He just in his arms. Not even with the basket, just in his arms.
Take the whole inner circle there from that matter.
So,
Fuck it.
Oh my god.
How well do you think like a team of like Zelina Vega and Aleister Black would do since they're married?
I don't know.
Not good.
Not good. No.
I don't think.
I
don't think that they. First of all, to me, I think you rule out almost any of the guys that are like strictly vegan or vegetarian. Like that's why I didn't think of like Red Dragon or anything
Zelina
like
and
that.
also back. They're Uber Eats. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the Uber Eats, DoorDash. Okay.
I'm sorry, but you don't look the way she looks and still make dinner.
She's so fucking hot though. Oh my god. Whew.
Like even I can say that she's hot. Like,
But who is like that sneaky team? Before we wrap this up, that you're just like, do you think you could be like randomly really good at this for like no apparent reason? Like super like good in shape. Like you can just be like, wow,
best friends.
They're gonna be like sneaky good.
Best friends.
Oh, best friends is a good answer.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy.
Really?
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
Come
That's
on.
a good one, Joe.
And by the way, it's Murphy.
It's just Murphy. You're correct.
You.
They've Madonna'd him.
Fucking yeah, they Beyonce Madonna him.
The artist formerly known as Mouse Cop.
Yes.
My selection
Yeah.
for the random team that I feel like can be like sneaky good here is the combo of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Whoa.
Oh.
Now we have Marco Stunt in the child's
Marco Stunt would
cart?
be in the front part of the cart.
Sitting in the car.
in public
Sitting in the cart.
with the wheels.
Correct.
or put my kids on all the time.
Oh my god. Just give him something to play with. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Don't forget
If not, he will be trying to take himself out of the shopping cart by unhooking the seatbelt, and you lose $100 for every time he gets out of the cart.
Oh my god.
That's
a
a
special
fucking
penalty.
every time. Alrighty.
Oh my god.
Greatest segment ever of the show. Greatest segment ever of the show. Good job,
That was
Joe.
great.
Thank you.
So we'll transition to the last topic of the evening. I decided that my topic for this week's show would be let's fantasy book WrestleMania 36. The easy ones that have already been confirmed, especially tonight's Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. That match has been confirmed, as has the title match for the WWE title, Brock Lesnar defending against Drew McIntyre. those two are pretty obvious. Otherwise, I'm going to use last year's WrestleMania as a template here because why not? It had 16 matches on it. I'm just going to rip through my matches, and maybe I'll throw in a couple of who I think is going to win. We'll start with the matches that I expect to be on the pre-show. The Men's Battle Royal. I think this one, because he's a Tampa native, could be won by Titus O'Neil.
Oh,
Okay.
If not, I can see somebody from NXT, maybe a Donovan Dijakovic.
Keith Lee.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
He's another one. Women's Battle Royal. I think this one's going to go to Bianca Belair.
Oh, I like that.
They give her the WrestleMania moment while not actually like winning a title or a singles
do they,
match on it.
they,
But I like it.
they do 2 Battle Royals?
They do a men's one and a women's one every year.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
nice recent. It's a recent thing. The women.
Yeah, they were going to name it the
less than
Fabulous.
3
They
years.
were going to name it the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, and then it turned out Moolah was a bitch.
It should be called the Sherry Martel fucking Battle Royal, should you call it?
They really
Yeah.
should. That would be
They
a great
should-
name for
They
it.
should give it to someone. They should give it to somebody. But I
Yeah.
digress.
The Cauldron of Madness. Go ahead.
God.
The NXT Cruiserweight Championship match. They always have a Cruiserweight title match on the pre-show. I don't think this year is going to be any different.
Mhm.
This year I have a fatal 4-way. Jordan Devlin, who I have still projected to be the champion, versus Oni Lorcan versus Angel Garza versus Kushida. I have Kushida winning the Cruiserweight title.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
The women's tag title match. The Kabuki Warriors, who I think are going to still be the champions by the time we get there. The returning team of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the Iconics, versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, versus a NXT women's tag team of 2 ladies that we talked about a little earlier, in Tegan Knox and Candice LeRae.
Oh.
Mhm.
And I'm picking Team NXT to win the women's tag titles
Okay.
because
I
I
like
think
it.
that their women's division in NXT is one of the better ones going on right now, and I
Yes.
feel like them having the tag titles down there, it'd be nice to see them defend the titles a little bit more.
Yes.
And it also gives Candice and Tegan like, hey, we got to go to SmackDown this week to defend against Naomi and whoever. This is cool. Because he's showing up on Friday Night SmackDown in a week or so, and because I think he's going to have a match at the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to pick John Cena versus King Baron Corbin in a singles match, and I have John Cena winning.
Ugh.
I didn't say the match was going to be good. I did. I just said it's going to be there. It's like us. It's going to be there.
Fair enough.
It's there. It's there.
In a match that was built the night after WrestleMania, night after Royal Rumble, Edge versus Randy Orton.
Yes.
Edge. I think Edge wins.
Yes. I can see that.
It's there.
You both will be very surprised by what I say here next. In a
Samuel
singles
Vega?
match-
I'm
No.
joking.
In a singles match, Kevin Owens will take on Seth Rollins.
Why am I shocked
Okay.
there? That's not shock. That's not shock. Why are we?
Oh, it is because Seth Rollins is currently a member of the Raw Tag Team titles, which will also be defended on this show.
Oh.
Dude, doing dope work, huh? Huh? Wait, first time.
Maybe.
Maybe the first time for him.
But you have him
He's-
losing
he's
the
a-
belt beforehand.
He's a messiah. He's a messiah. It's okay. He can handle it.
I have Kevin Owens winning because Seth Rollins is taking a break after this. Him and Becky are going to get married.
Oh. So you're just booking their real lives now, too.
I think they really think that that's been planned.
I didn't know that was allowed. Wait, can we fantasy book whatever?
Fuck,
that
I mean,
happens
it's
in
all
the
come
real
together
people?
now.
you
Mike
cannot-
went ahead and-
you cannot have a date with Sammy Guevara.
God damn it.
No, I think that's like they're definitely engaged, and I think like they're like gonna low key get married, like, and take some time off.
Good
They've
for them. Maybe
they've
they can
gone
go on
hard.
supermarket sweep.
They've gone hard for the last year, though. Both of them.
Well,
Of
It's
course.
cool. It's whatever. Raw Tag Team Title match. I told you we'd get there. I have the new Raw Tag Team Champions in my mind, the Authors of Pain,
Okay.
Wow.
because I
Okay.
think Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy are going to hand the titles over to them. Aha.
That's interesting.
Aha. Taking on the
Every,
team
every
of,
great title reign in wrestling starts with someone just being handed the title.
Did you dream this up, Mike? Something? Fuck.
No, I literally just started like looking through the rostering of what made sense. The Authors of Pain, the new champions, versus Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the OC, versus Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, and Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits, and we'll have new tag team champions. I'm picking Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins to win the Raw tag titles.
We
Nice.
want the smoke.
We want to smoke. We want smoke. See, and then everybody gets smoke.
Mr. Bianca Belair.
SmackDown tag title match. We'll have new champions going into this match. I think that the Miz and John Morrison are going to win the tag titles at Super Showdown.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that myself.
The match that I see here is Miz and Morrison versus the New Day versus the Usos and Heavy Machinery. I have Miz and Morrison retaining.
I can live with that.
A 6-man car crash title ladder match for the United States title, I have the current champion Andrade, who I still think is going to be champion going into this match, versus Humberto Carrillo, versus Aleister Black, versus Murphy, versus Samoa Joe and AJ Styles.
Oh,
and I have Aleister Black winning the United States title.
Wait, you got Murphy doing two matches tonight?
Oh.
No, they weren't in the tag titles.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, the Office of Pain beat him in a finger poke of doom scenario. Dude. IC title because SmackDown needs their own multi-man mid-card title match because it's WrestleMania. Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ali versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan versus Elias, and I have Strowman retaining.
Oh, interesting.
There's nobody else on that list that I feel like should be the Intercontinental Champion.
No,
maybe
that makes
Bryan,
sense.
But
yeah,
he just gave up a title feud. SmackDown Women's Title match, Fatal 4-Way, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, and Naomi. I have Naomi winning the title. Naomi may be the champion after Super Showdown.
I'm glad she's back, though, by the way.
I don't know.
It's good, too.
In the match that got announced earlier tonight, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I have Rhea retaining the NXT Women's title.
I would certainly hope
pinning
so.
Charlotte Flair, like actually pinning her?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
I think she's like the second most over female in WWE right now.
Now that they've announced it, like that only works if Rhea actually wins, in my opinion.
Yes. If not, you've just ruined the entire NXT Women's division.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE Universal title match, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I pray that they don't do this, but I want The Fiend to retain, but I, for some reason, have this sick gut feeling they're going to let Roman be the guy that beats him, and I pray to God that it's not.
It's so too soon.
For The Fiend?
To lose? Yeah.
I mean,
you don't think so?
He's just getting into the good part of like being a psychopath.
Well, I love that whole thing with him and Hogan. Oh my god, is he SmackDown on Friday?
No.
Yes.
Oh shit, you gotta watch it.
Him and Hogan had a nice interaction.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Yes.
I'm still not over. I'm still feeling weird about him fighting Goldberg and like
Saudi shit, Saudi payment. I'm not even.
And he's going to win.
Anymore.
And he's going to win that match. Anyone that thinks Goldberg's going to win that match is fucking retarded.
I don't.
Yeah, no. I'm sure The Fiend's
going
to win. Just stupid.
Fine, he wins the match. He's winning the title too.
Who, Fiend?
Yeah. No, Goldberg. He's winning the title also.
Goldberg's not winning that match.
Goldberg's not going to win that match.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see it.
Oh,
that's
no,
weird.
You said Goldberg could win by disqualification.
DQ.
Goldberg's
That's
not even going to win the match.
The title.
He's not even going to win the match.
The title ain't changing hands tonight.
Of course it's not. But Goldberg is not even going to get the victory in that match. He's going to lose.
Good.
I mean, does he exclusively only wrestle for the Saudi brand now?
Hopefully.
For the fourth brand that's like still 1998.
Yeah,
also, could we please keep Undertaker away from the fucking WrestleMania this year?
Nope.
Fuck.
Oh.
You bring him back?
Speaking of, Mike, who you have Undertaker wrestling?
Sting.
All right, fuck you then, Ernest.
Oh, I guessed it right?
No, I have him fighting Kane in a retirement match.
Oh.
I would love for it to be Sting, but I just don't think it's Sting.
No, not me either. I was just saying, I was fucking guessing shit.
Wait, okay, but I got
it.
I got it. You put him and Kane in. You put him in the Inferno match, and you call it a refirement match.
Ooh, corny, but ooh.
God damn you, Joe.
Joe, how do you, Joe, on the fly, Joe, on the fly?
Yeah, that just happened.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the songbird of our generation.
Do you hear rumors about
WWE title match?
Okay, Mike. Do you hear rumors about Taker and AJ Styles possibly?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors. I just don't know if I like it.
I mean, AJ will be the one guy you do it because he beats Taker, obviously.
I'll say this: I like it better than Kane because every time Undertaker and Kane have actually wrestled, it ends up being kind of shitty.
For the record, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's super trash.
Might be a hot take here. Oh, fuck, gives a fuck. I've never liked any of their matches. Even Mania 14, didn't like it.
No, I agree with you.
No,
like
that's
the
not a hot
Inferno
take.
matches might be their best.
Never liked any of their matches. The build
Their
was
The
great.
Inferno match might be their best match, and that's just all spectacle.
Yeah, like the build up was great, and then you get the match. Like,
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree with you. I think they can't work together for some odd reason.
Yeah, no, you're not. That's not a hot take. I'm right there with you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Final match of my card: Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, and I have Drew McIntyre walking out of WrestleMania with the belt.
3, 2, 1. Let's go more.
Kick his face off.
I actually like yours, man. Other than the fucking Kane Taker bullshit.
I can deal with most of that.
It's more like I know that like there's going to be that nostalgia moment needed,
Vince.
but also, guys, there's like a 15-minute bathroom break, beer break, because it's going to take 17 minutes for both of them to walk down the aisle. It's going to take 5 minutes each for them to get in the ring. The match is going to last 4.5 minutes with 3 rest holds in it, and then they're going to have to walk back up the ramp to get out of there. That's a solid 15-minute break.
We could do a
guys.
fucking whole push, a whole fucking table push at work by the time they get out of the fucking aisle. Like,
That's
make
what
some
I'm
money
saying.
real quick.
That's
Call
the
me
thing.
into work for a little while.
There.
Make
We'll hear the gong.
$30 real quick.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we'll hear the gong, and it's like, ooh, it's the Undertaker. All right, I'll be back.
Exactly. Oh, are you done now? Oh, cool. Okay, let's go.
All right, ooh, who's on now? Street Profits? All right, we want smoke.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
so
say
that's
this.
my card.
If there's one match I could add to that show, because let's be honest, I didn't write out a whole list.
No, I know you didn't. That's why.
I have a better idea. Let's. How about one of us? Like next week, I'll do mine, and then the week after that, Joe does his. Spread it out.
Joe's not gonna do his, so let's not even.
Come on.
Yeah,
Joe.
I mean, I'm gonna fake it whenever it gets to my turn.
So let's
I have
just let Joe say what he wants to say.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Well, the one thing that I would really love to add is I would love to see the Revival against Harlem Heat.
Ooh, I didn't remember that. That's a good one.
And you give that match 4 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's
match
more
does
like
not
the
need to be
entrance-
a long match.
Yeah, that's more like the entrance nostalgia.
Yeah,
and, like, the two of
right.
them
You
having
get
a
the
quick
entrance
little-
nostalgia for Harlem Heat. You give the Revival something relevant to do on the show. Booker T hits a spinneroonie because I'm sure he still can.
Yes.
And that's basically it. Like, you don't need to do anything else in that match. Give Harlem Heat the win. I'm fine with that. Or give the Revival the win. It doesn't matter.
By the
Yeah,
way,
you let Harlem Heat win because the Revival.
by the way,
probably
it was rumored the Revival asked for a release, and Vince said no. Fuck yourself.
Shocker. They've asked for the release like every day for the last 4 months.
Oh my God.
They don't want to be
Oh.
there. They're like, I'd rather go be with the Young Bucks.
And I know obviously we all know we're getting Orton versus Edge, but in a perfect world, I would have really gone the Edge AJ Styles route personally.
Yeah, until AJ fucked his shoulder up, and then
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's a match that we've never gotten.
That might have been
Edge.
that might have been
Honestly,
the match. Actually, that might have been it.
I feel like that would have been the match, but I don't know if they got the results back on AJ's shoulder right away. And if there was something torn there, I think they went to an emergency backup route.
Yeah,
Which now is like a reason why Undertaker AJ is being like put on the table.
Touted,
like, as a possibility. Because that honestly makes sense too. Because you could take AJ out of my U.S. title match and put a guy like Ricochet in it,
yeah,
and it kind of like it still makes sense because you have the high flying guy in Ricochet, and then you have a veteran like Styles who could work with Undertaker, and then you have the Harlem Heat match.
right.
And if you wanted to take a match out of my show to put that match in, you could always move that NXT Cruiserweight title match to Takeover because you're not gonna have a women's title match, so you're only gonna have probably one women's match on there, which might be like the Tegan versus Dakota cage match.
Right, right.
So you can put that NXT Cruiserweight title there, take that out of the pre-show, move like the women's tag title down. You can make Harlem Heat versus the Revival that like 6-minute bathroom break in between the WWE title and the NXT women's title.
I'm also gonna put this out there because I feel like it's the kind of thing that happens anyway. Give me Miz and Morrison and some celebrity against, like, I don't know, Heavy Machinery and some celebrity.
Could you think they could get Maurice like in shape in enough time after having the? Oh no, she's still pregnant. Never mind.
Is she still actively pregnant?
I still think she's actively pregnant. I don't think they've had the other
I
baby
thought
yet.
she gave birth already.
If she did, then do you think we could get Miz, Morrison, and Maurice versus like Heavy Machinery and like Who's a famous like actress from Tampa?
I have no idea.
Brooke Hoban? No, I'm joking.
Oh God!
Damn you! Why?
Yeah. Can we please?
Just joking.
Can we please get Big E and Kofi Kingston and Brooke Hogan as a team, with Hulk Hogan down in their corner?
Wow. You went there, Joe. All right.
I want to see that match now. That is what I want to see.
You are, Ernest. You're the worst.
I know. You said Tampa on the fly, man.
No.
Wow.
Who could they get like famous to like? Come on. I mean, they already got Snooki.
That's what. Yeah. I mean, look. There's got to be some woman
Mike,
out
you're
there.
just drawing dead in Tampa. Sorry.
Nah,
Yeah, I don't know.
There's nothing good in Tampa. You know what? Here, better yet, bring Shakira.
There you go.
There you go.
She can just stand in the corner and do that really weird dunk thing that she did during halftime.
Yes. There you go.
It's like voodoo.
Or get what's her face in Furious 9? Get Charlize Theron.
Ooh.
You got John Cena coming in anyway. Like, why don't we just go full on Fast and Furious?
Where's Vin Diesel playing to this?
I mean, he'll be there in spirit.
So will Paul Walker.
Yes. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
And we all cried just a little bit.
And tears.
Anything else, Joe, want to add to the fantasy booking of WrestleMania 36?
Oh, man. I don't know. So many options. Oh, I would have John Cena take on The Fiend, just for the record.
I know you would.
You would do that.
I would love that match.
If you did that,
as long as The Fiend wins.
Okay, if you did that, where are you putting Roman?
Huh?
If you did that match, where are you putting Roman?
We could put Roman in drag, and he can team with.
Oh, why would you?
He can team with Miz and Morrison.
This is definitely Joe's fucking fantasy booking here.
No, Joe's over Roman Reigns as much as probably all of us are because he is the guy that just gets shoved down our throats every fucking year.
But you got to admit, it's been a while since they've shoved him down our throats.
They did a good job last year, so really making him like the guy.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about that. I just don't like the fact that like, and now you guys can have your opinions on this. I hate the fact that both of the titles right now are being defended by guys who are very rarely defending the title on TV. They're only defending the titles like at pay-per-views because it makes like, yes, Bray Wyatt's the champion on SmackDown, but like the biggest feud so far has been Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin.
Honestly,
see, I kind of like that.
I don't mind that though. I kind of like the build-ups. I don't mind that.
But
I've always bought into the Paul Heyman idea of booking where like the world title shouldn't be on the most important guy. It should be on the guy that needs it the most.
I'm not saying from an importance standpoint. What I'm getting at is I don't like that neither champion is like not even really having matches. Like, give me like Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt coming out to that stupid fucking music, having a 7-second squash match against like Ali or something. Just so he's in the ring every once in a while. Just so it's like it plays into like the psyche of like him being a psychopath. Like he can go out there and have like a fun match being Bray Wyatt, and then somebody does something to him, and then he turns into the Fiend.
Right, but that's what the vignettes are for. I think that's why the vignettes are to stop in the gap between those events.
The thing is, to me, I've heard that argument, and I get it's the same argument people have had about Brock Lesnar forever. My thing is, I don't know when you grew up. Well, I do know when you grew up, but like,
say what?
I grew up with Hulk Hogan appearing on TV once every 6 months.
Yep, that's very true.
Like that's like I'm used to the world title being defended like twice a year. You know, like
Hogan was never.
The problem is wrestling from 1996 to 2007. No, just to 2007. Like, you had champions that were defending the title 2 times a month on Monday Night Raw and on Nitro.
But I would say that took away from the specialness of it.
Did we have an argument about this a couple months ago on the podcast about how like one of the things with the Attitude Era I did not like was the fact that it was overkill.
Yeah, I'm not saying
they devalued the titles like
I agree. Yeah,
what I'm saying is I'm not the champion doesn't have to ever defend the title on television for me to care about him being the champion.
Right.
Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the lack of having both of your champions even have, like, matches on the shows. Like, Bray Wyatt has not appeared in front of a live audience in how long? It's all been on the teleprompter. Like, he's not even seeing, like, the crowd. Like, let him come out and cut a promo in the ring.
But see, to me, that's just what makes him more special when he does then.
But we've had that conversation, Joe, where it's how pissed would you be if they say the Fiend's going to be there, and what is he? He's a 17-second promo on the Videotron?
Oh, yeah, no, okay. I agree. If they're advertising him, then he should be there.
I'm saying more from a standpoint of, like, advertising, or you're a fan and you like you're thinking you're going to see said person and you see him on a screen. You don't even see him in person.
But there's a difference there. If they're advertising him and he doesn't show up other than like in an interview segment on the screen, not even in like in the building, yeah, I get being pissed off about that.
I will say
if you buy tickets to SmackDown and you go and you just think you're going to see him because he's the champion, but then he's not there, he's only there in a video. I mean, that's on you. Bought tickets to SmackDown.
That's on you.
That's on you, right?
Yeah, that's on you.
I will say this much though, and not so much the Fiend, but Brock Lesnar. People bitch about him not being on TV enough. The way they've used him the start of this year, perfect. Like getting a little tease here, come in there, quick squash, done, bye.
This is the first time in 4 years they've used Brock Lesnar right.
I love it.
Yes, I agree with that also.
Like, you want to give Vince shit for like 2016, 17, 18, 19 with Brock, fine. 2020, you can't give him shit about Brock. He's used Brock the right way in the start of 2020.
And Brock should be used as a special, just in case, type of guy. Because his matches...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love Brock.
But, again, it's one of those where Brock's had his run with the title. Brock does not need the title. He's a guy who he's going to be an attraction no matter where he's at on the card. If he's on the card, you know that you're going to get a good match. Like it's going to be an attraction because you're going to get the entrance. You're going to get like Heyman. I don't think he needs the title.
He doesn't need the
title.
I agree with you there, but I will say though, when he does elevate the title, though, he does elevate it.
I feel like that's a whole topic that we can get into, and I might even crib it for next week because I definitely disagree with you on that.
Who? Me, Mike?
Mike.
You think Brock Lesnar needs the title?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
I agree with Mike there, but I also think that Brock also elevates it too. On top of that,
yeah, I actually think he needs it, and honestly, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna use this next week because I think this is a good topic.
Okay.
I am completely dumbfounded on how you think a 37-year-old guy who defends the title 3 times a year needs the WWE title.
Let's tease next week.
You can tune in next week and find out.
Let's tease next week. MVPs. Before we go, MVP. I'll do my fantasy thing next week. I want to put more thought into it. So MVPs. Mike.
Damn, why you gotta put me on first?
You never go first, buddy.
Yeah, go to somebody else.
Joe.
Oh man, I was gonna steal Mike's.
Mike.
I know you were. That's why I fucking said you first.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my MVP. I'm gonna give it to Bianca Belair. That homegirl full circle.
Wow, second week in a row.
You don't even go here.
Second show in a row, Joe goes Bianca Belair.
She came full circle. Like I said, considering the title match she had against Shayna about a year ago to versus tonight, I mean, props, girl. Do you? Okay,
well, mine is going to be... I mean, we didn't discuss them all tonight, though, but the entire AEW Dynamite... AEW. That episode last Wednesday, by far their best episode since going to TV.
It's a really good episode.
By far. I was impressed. Top to bottom.
I don't know how you just gave the
entire company. Tony Khan. Fuck you, Tony Khan. Happy?
No, Tony Khan had nothing to do with it. I'd much rather
it's to be somebody.
Or whatever. I'll go with the Broserweights.
Bro. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and I guess we're back after 2 weeks. See? All right, so no one's sick anymore, right?
I'm feeling pretty okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're all sick in the head, but whatever.
Yeah. So, follow Mike on Twitter at they call me Bern, Beern, like Bernie Sanders. Joe Lopez on Twitter, of course, at never mind.
Joe's at listen to our sports podcast on Anchor or Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
That's correct.
Super Crazy Sports Spectacular. That's where Joe's at on Twitter.
That's true. And of course, the Take 3 Wrestling podcast on Twitter at Take Number 3 Wrestling. I'm on Twitter at EastChristian7. Mike, Joe, myself, we're back next week. And stay healthy, stay mage, I guess, right?
Stay classy, San Diego.
You got it. Later.